Alright, I do these completely off the cuff, unscripted, because I suck and I don't prepare. I'm also really bad on camera. So, and I'm doing it this way for two reasons. A, you can see my YouTube channel and you can see me with my mouth wide open. That's the video that I got so much crap for, asking why I did it in bed. Because eventually I had to start doing it, and I wasn't going to start doing it unless I just did it one night. So that's how that came about. Anyway, okay, so part two, which is really part one, I guess you could say. Skincare. So I've had really shitty skin, I guess you could say, in my opinion, my entire life. I have gone to dermatologists since the age of 6. Which I probably have smart dermatologists at that point because they took me off dairy, and that actually helped me back then. So again, everything that I'm doing, everything my brand has to do with isn't necessarily like vegan or completely natural. It's about overall health, digestive issues, anti-inflammation, which causes a variety of problems, and I can keep going over that, and each topic is going to have something else that inflammation causes. Inflammation in this terms is acne, so obviously you need to take care of yourself internally to keep the inflammation from happening, which should keep you to a low inflammatory diet, which of course again is not necessarily vegan, because there are people who are extremely intolerant to certain forms of, I believe it's luteins in beans, and hence the joke, bean farts. So that's not necessarily the answer for everybody, whereas like egg whites, for example, are relatively tolerable, yet they digest weird, like extremely fast, which is why you get gas. Having said that, from 6 to about 18, I was put on a variety of different drugs. I guess you call them drugs. Antibiotics, minocycline, tetracycline, doxycycline, Accutane, topical benzoyl peroxide, topical erythromycin. I used the Stridex pads, the Clearasil pads. Basically anything you could think of to try to get rid of the acne. I always had it. 9 times out of 10, you're misdiagnosed when you go to a dermatologist unless they biopsy it. They just look at it, give you kind of like whatever cure-all, and it kind of works for some people if the area is not too bad, but really it's your own body fighting it off and taking care of it. So the problem is how do I keep myself that way all the time? So after years and years and years and years of just basically being frustrated, and some people, side note, some people say gear will do it. Honestly, I've never had breakouts unless you come off hard real fast or you go on real fast. So severe hormones fluxes will cause acne, and there's really no sideways around that unless you just level up slow and come back down slow. Same thing with women with their periods. Of course, they're an emotional roller coaster of hormones. Estrogen's the devil. For many reasons, but that's another video for another day. So basically what my goal was to figure out a way to make this as user-friendly as possible, and what I could do to take care of my body and my skin, because it was to the point that I was embarrassed to take my shirt off at all, anywhere, no matter how jacked, shredded, whatever, it didn't matter. At the beach, shirt on, couldn't stand it, and I wasn't even that bad in some people's opinion. The first thing I did that actually worked was I got some laser hair removal on my back, and I probably got about 3 or 4 sessions done. It wasn't really that hairy, but just the laser hair removal stopped the acne, which started to make my thinking go in a different direction. Is that I wasn't so much having an acne outbreak with like cystic zits or anything like that, which is what I was originally diagnosed. I was actually having what's called almost like a folliculitis. Basically, the follicle gets inflamed for 2 to 5 days and then chills back out. And if you ever try to pop one of them, it's basically like a hard white thing. So the whole idea behind all of what I did was to try to figure out what I could do to soothe and calm the hair follicles in my skin, other than hair removal, because just lasering everything is time costly, kind of a pain in the ass, and honestly I'm a dude, so I kind of want to have some body hair. So I thought about it, gave it some thought, gave it some research, and a lot of it's actually been more trial and error than anything for me. So to start, and I'm using all the Walmart brands so that this is literally shoppable for anybody to do. None of these things I sell, okay? Just doing this so, because I'm sure somebody out there is completely up in arms about their acne and what to do with it. Number one is I use a colloidal oatmeal body wash. This is what the container looks like. It's like about $5, maybe $4. It's also made by Aveeno for double the price, exact same thing. Probably the same manufacturer, just a different sticker on the bottle. I shower with that. I then rinse, depending on how bad I have acne. If I have acne real bad, I use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. This would last like a year. A little bit of rubbing alcohol mixed with a hydrogen peroxide spray. I then take the spray after washing myself with a loofah and spray all the areas that are, I guess you could say, infected, or that are affected. Take your pick. Once I spray it with that, and then obviously rinse it off immediately. And then I take Dead sea salt. Simple, natural. Take it, put a little bit in my hand, I rub it back and forth like this, and I literally just scrub over the areas that I am prone to acne. For me, it seems to be the areas where my skin expands and contracts the most. I break out in really weird spots. My shoulders like to break out, my outer arms like to break out, my quads like to break out. Not so much on my back, again, because of the laser hair removal. But all of these things so far have done quite a bit to minimize the amount of acne I have. I'm actually at a point right now where I actually think I have maybe like one zit on my entire body. Yeah, it's like right there. So, and of course it's in the same spot that I always go. So after the sea salt, scrub your whole body, you again rinse, get out of the shower, towel dry off, pad off. I then spray my bottle with with witch hazel, which is basically a natural astringent. I got salt in my mouth, I'm touching the bag. Now I'm like dying. And again, that also has an antibacterial effect, which most of these things do. The salt has an antibacterial effect. The hydrogen peroxide has an antibacterial effect, which has also been shown to have a positive pH balance for the skin. So for all you dirty girls out there with your yeast infections, yeah, it's probably a better thing to use than triclosan or any of the doxycyclines or any of those things to help fix basically help fix your skin without having to take like an oral antibiotic. And then when you get out, depending on how dry your skin is, if your skin is real dry, I then use the colloidal oatmeal daily lotion. And if you're very oily, which I've never honestly ever had that problem because of the Accutane they gave me when I was younger, I actually have problems with my skin cracking still. I would suggest at worst probably blotting it with the astringent pads at the most. And I wouldn't go any further than that because the whole idea is to keep the follicle and the pores open and clear. You want them dry, but you also don't want them over dried because if they get over dried, then they basically dry up and plug up. So from there, the only other thing I have to add to this is that hormonally speaking, sometimes you get a really large zit and it just doesn't want to go away, and again, it may be hormonal. Ironically, not only does benzoyl peroxide work, but it also stains everything. But you can also use cortisone cream on it. It's basically it'll break down the zit faster once it gets into the skin than anything. It'll also keep it from breaking and popping. It'll just go down. Now, it's a disgusting topic, nobody really wants to talk about. And, you know, I'm sure you guys will have some negative comments for the whole thing, but hopefully this helps somebody. Because that's basically the whole idea and the whole premise of my company is to get you to live better in your own skin. We'll say that for this title. Because it probably is the most fitting. Hopefully this helps somebody. Leave comments in the bottom if you want. Questions in the bottom, I'll answer them. And that's basically it. And please make sure you subscribe. Just trying to get to 100 things so I can verify my thing. That's it. And I got like 35 already, so not too bad for the first video. Thanks, guys.